LG or Oddware, where we're taking a look at hardware and software that's odd, forgotten, obsolete, and is the Demon Gun. The Demon Gun with two
obsolete. Oh, hello! Today I thought we'd take a look at this keyboard with massive keys. So here's the keyboard. It's something I picked up on one of my thrifting episodes. I believe it was £2 from the local car boot sale. Clearly it's a keyboard designed for child use, and retail wise it looks like it's been on the market for the past 10 years at least, sometimes advertised for special requirements, and yeah, I can see how it could be useful if you had sight or coordination problems, but I can't really test that myself. Although I guess it could also be useful if you've come back from the pub and need to check the football scores whilst you're hammered, or whatever you crazy cats do. Now, the unit itself is completely devoid of a manufacturer name, which is never a good sign. But a quick dig around on Tinternet shows that it's a unit which has been and continues to be at least partially sold under various brands, from Duragadget to Hipstreet, with some kind of water-filled mouse that looks quite cool, and even Crayola as the EZ type keyboard, or EZ type keyboard. That really doesn't work, does it? There's even a version with a trackball. It all looks incredibly joyful and splendid. The thing is, it's not really easy type, and given that children have smaller hands and this keyboard has much larger keys, it seems a little unhelpful. Granted, it may make it easier to find an appropriate key, but my kids had no trouble wangling their way around a BlackBerry keyboard when they were toddlers. What's more, some keys are in strange places, which is a little off-putting and doesn't reinforce touch typing. The lack of a right-hand shift key is particularly upsetting when trying to type any kind of useful or unuseful document. Maybe I'm taking this a little seriously. In fact, I'm sure I am. It's a massive coloured keyboard after all. You're not going to write the code for Alien Isolation 2 on it. It's also an improvement over what most developers in the 80s were used to. Let's connect it up. This is a USB model, although PS2 is available. I'm just going to use this adapter to plug it into my Compaq 486. And that's about it. The keyboard functions. At this stage it felt apt to try some children's programs to get a feel for the keyboard in its intended setting. So after going through a few cover discs, this is what I came up with. Now this Dr. Seuss program was unfairly labelled. I saw ABC and assumed some kind of keyboard interaction, but it's just clicking.
Little A. What begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator. A, A, A. Big A.
Endless
Little A.
clicking
What
everywhere.
begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator. A, A,
Good God.
A.
Appropriately, I also found a typing tutor, so let's give that a crack and see how it fares. We haven't got a backslash function, which is a bit limiting. So I'm running Windows 3.11 through DOSBox just for ease of use for filming this really on this computer. This is volume 19, issue 17, March 97 of Computer Buyer. The program I'm looking for is Keyboard Test Typing Tutor. Okay, installation. Okay, so here is the OPAC keyboarding. If we open it up, welcome to OPAC System Keyboarding Skills Assessment. Name. When the keyboarding test begins, the screen will be divided into two windows. The top window contains the text you'll be typing, the bottom window is where you will type. It's fairly clear. You have 5 minutes for the test. Good luck. God. With one shift key. What? Most. Oh, God. Time is up. Okay, let's check that. So, gross words per minute 38, total errors 3, 98.4 accuracy rate, net words per minute 37, time 5, gross keystrokes 940, net keystrokes 95, total backspace is 118. So, it seems only fair to run back with a normal keyboard and see what the difference is. And we have gross words per minute 81, total errors 13, accuracy rate 96.8, 79 net words per minute, 5 minutes, gross keystrokes 2034, net keystrokes 1969, and total backspaces 117. Yeah, it was never going to be brilliant. In fact, it seemed more appropriate to get the views of a small child at this point. What do you think of this keyboard?
Crap.
So, there we go. But I should mention that those massive arrow keys work really well with one particular set of games. And that is 90s first-person shooters. Both Doom and Rise of the Triad were an absolute joy. In fact, this entire keyboard feels right with blood-soaked mayhem. A bit ironic for a child's keyboard maybe, but it's fairly responsive, there's a good depth to the keys, and it just makes me want to kill and maim. So, final verdicts. It might be an okay keyboard for tiny children, but at its best when used to slaughter vast numbers of weapon-wielding opponents. I think Crayola missed a marketing trick there, if I'm honest.
Crayola, discover the magic of color.